Recently, I was in New York City, and I spent the night at a friend's house. And I got up early the next morning so I could walk through Central Park, which is something I love to do. And before long, I got to the Grand Army Plaza, which is the gateway to Central Park at 59th Street. Now, I imagine many of you have seen the statue that's there. It's the statue of the Civil War Union General, William Sherman. And he perches really high on a horse and is led by an angel. So Sherman is a somewhat polarizing historic figure. He's known for liberating the South from the Confederate Army. That's really all I ever knew about him. But he's also credited with the mass destruction of Atlanta and other scorched earth tactics in the Civil War. He used that same military philosophy as commanding general of the Indian Wars. His policies included the first establishment of reservations, the killing of those who resisted relocation, and the starvation of the remaining free roaming Plains Indians by the mass eradication of the buffalo herds. And I sat on the bench and I studied the statue and I wondered, why, of all the people in the world, does General Sherman get to sit on a gold horse forever in Central Park? And why is this the same all over the world? Wherever you are on this planet, it seems to have been decided long ago that history would be annotated primarily by the warriors, and that courage and boldness and strength would be associated with a willingness to fight and die. Now, I'm a realist. I know that sometimes human beings get so twisted that some kind of force is necessary. But that does not mean we should celebrate violent force as the penultimate definition of being bold, of being a hero. What happens to human consciousness when we memorize the dates of battles and we pass the war memorials and we sing anthems with lyrics laced with bombs bursting in air? Jose Ortega y Gasset was a 19th century Spanish philosopher, and he said, "Tell me to what you pay attention, and I will tell you who you are." We have paid a lot of attention to violence and warriors. Tell me what would happen to us as a culture if a statue of Rosa Parks were placed right next to the Lincoln Memorial, and Miss Parks was as big and bold as the commander-in-chief. Or if next to the Vietnam War Memorial, there was a similar wall with thousands of names of the people who have honed other ways of dealing with conflict, like maybe communicating, or forgiving, or mediating, or working for justice so that the economic and social conditions that spawn unrest are transformed before they explode. Are we not also the caretakers of our culture? The nannies and home health aides and hospice workers and the farmers and the earth stewards and the everyday citizens who feed and house and give jobs and hope to others. So back to the statues in Central Park. Of the park's 22 monuments, only a few feature females, but they're not real women. They're either angels or dancing girls, and there's one of Alice in Wonderland and one of Mother Goose. Now, I don't have anything against dancing girls or Mother Goose, but I was happy to learn there's a group proposing a statue of the suffragists to celebrate the largest nonviolent revolution in our nation's history, the movement for a woman's right to vote. It'll be good for little girls and boys to walk through the park and say to their parents, "Who are those ladies? What did they do? How did they do it? Tell me to what you pay attention, and I'll tell you who we are."